Hi everybody, it's Happy Jeremy. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you're having a great day and there's sunshine and smiles surrounding everyone you love. Now today on Happy Jeremy's video, I'll be talking about a canceled Blizzard project and how some employees happily left the company after their project was canceled. I hope that you're happy to hear the news. If you're also happy like me, make sure you happily click that thumbs up button below the video to let everyone know we're happy. Okay, anyway, what's going on, everyone? Jeremy here. Happy Jeremy here. Want to first shout out all of your support yesterday, sharing the video. So many of you came to a live stream last night. More than 3,000 people chilling at like 1 in the morning or something like that. It was insanity. So many people joined the channel using the join feature to support as advertisers pull out. That will absolutely help offset that. And I think about 100 people already have, maybe more than 100 have checked out subscribestar.com/thequartering. Thank you so much for helping pick up the slack where it dropped off, and I'm hoping that the lull does not affect me long term. I'm certain it doesn't. But let's get into the news, because that's really why you're here. Dance, Mucky, dance. Okay, well, I will dance happily. So Schreier did a good article yesterday, which is why I'm not using the archive version of it, and I do suggest people read good articles, even when they're on websites that generally aren't good, because hopefully somebody who's counting the beans will see where the traffic actually is. So Blizzard canceled a StarCraft first-person FPS to focus on Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. Interesting. Now, it is not uncommon to have projects canceled in the game development world. We on the outside, when we hear about a project that had 2 years into it getting canceled, it's hard to fathom. It's hard to fathom just calling it a loss. But that's exactly what Blizzard did. And we were kind of tipped off to this when David Gibson, who is a developer at Blizzard, tweeted this out. Well, today is my last day at Blizzard. Unfortunately, you'll never see what we made over the past 2 years. That's game dev, but at least we'll always have Overwatch. I get the next 6 weeks off. I need it until my next gig starts info soon. And one last time, here's my Overwatch reel. Now, obviously, David Poole is well connected. If you go through this thread, it's kind of a who's who of game development people, kind of giving him some moral support. And I will say, and David has come out after all of this now to say, hey, look, don't hate on Blizzard for doing this, and that's, I mean, you got to really appreciate loyalty. He comes to say, please stop the hate towards Blizzard. Game development is hard and uncertain. There are never any guarantees when working on a project, and Blizzard did nothing wrong. I'll always be proud of what we made and thankful for the support we had from the company throughout development. Now, certainly the StarCraft community probably isn't super happy. But when you mix that with Diablo 4 getting additional resources, admittedly, it's kind of good to hear. I think this is bittersweet, because I think clearly Blizzard realized that, oh my goodness, we really messed up announcing Diablo Immortal, and we underestimated people's real demand for the latest Diablo game. And if you look back, this isn't the first time that Blizzard has underestimated customer demand. And I think what we're going to see in a few months when WoW Classic launches, by the way, you boys all the way up to level 17. My name is Sorcerer in the world. I've actually come across very few bugs. Maybe I've reported 10 or so. I've only just cleared Westfall, so I probably have way fewer hours than everyone else. But I'm trying to take my time and really kind of locate bugs and do the beta test right, so everyone else can enjoy the game. And I will enjoy it at launch, starting over. So I think Blizzard is starting to realize that, hey, maybe their customers are telling us the truth and maybe we don't know better. I'm hoping that WoW Classic is a huge success, because I hope people back companies who listen to us. Blizzard has canceled StarCraft first-person game because our FPS that has been in a development for the past 2 years. According to 3 people familiar with the goings-on in the studio, the main reason Blizzard told staff was to, quote, put more resources into Diablo and Overwatch 2. Interesting. I don't know much about Overwatch. I don't know why you'd call Overwatch 2. Why not just continue to add to it? It's weird to think of it being a completely different game, but regardless. The project was codenamed Ares, was described as the like Battlefield, but in StarCraft universe, which sounds very cool. One of those people, all of whom spoke anonymously because they were not authorized to talk about the project. The team had built prototypes in which the player, as a Terran Marine, could take on Zerg aliens, and there were plans to experiment with playable Zerg as well. Although one person who saw builds of the game last year told me that it seemed like the development progress was slow, a second said it came back as a massive shock when Blizzard canceled it a couple weeks ago. A third person said it was looking quite good. Okay. When asked for comment, Blizzard sent over a lengthy and non-specific statement, which you can read in full at the bottom. We will always make decisions about these things regardless of the ultimate outcome or how they might be interpreted based on our values, what we believe makes sense for Blizzard, and we hope players will enjoy the most. I mean, I definitely feel bad for the StarCraft community if the game was going to be good, but I'm kind of also excited to hear they're diverting some of the resources to games that people actually want. Now, I don't know how much of interest there is in Overwatch 2, but certainly Diablo 4. It first entered development in 2017, an experiment to see what the team could do with the StarCraft on an Overwatch engine. An engine is a suite of tools, yeah, we all know. In the same technology, in order to make their infamously slow game productions more efficient, the plan revolves around a new shared engine that's being adopted by multiple Blizzard projects, who formerly led Heroes of the Storm in StarCraft 2 and said it was planned to be the next game in the StarCraft universe. Of course, this isn't the first time Blizzard has canceled a StarCraft project. The infamous StarCraft Ghost, a third-person game, stealth game that would star the Terran Ghost Nova, went through several developer changes and public delays after its 2002 announcement before finally getting canceled in 2006. Here's Blizzard's full statement. Obviously, it's pretty much corporate speak. We don't generally comment on unannounced project, but we will say the following. We have people working at Blizzard. We always have people working on different ideas behind the scenes, including multiple projects right now. But the reason we tend not to discuss them publicly is because anything can happen, of course, in the course of development. As has been the case of Blizzard numerous times in the past, there's always been a possibility we'll make a decision not to move forward on a given project. Announcing something before we feel it's ready stands the risk of creating a lot of frustration and disappointment. I totally understand that. With all things said, we're very much looking forward to revealing other things we've been working on when the time is right. Now, this is on the heels of, as I reported last weekend, several employees leaving Blizzard over morale issues. High-profile Blizzard staff departing over morale issues. Now, this is obviously I covered this article in full, but Blizzard's reputation has taken a hit over the last year or so, with many pointing to ill-timed production of Diablo Immortal as a microcosm of the company's inability to understand its fans. Since then, the company has also been the site of one of the most egregious video game layoffs ever, with a huge chunk of its workforce losing its job while Activision and Blizzard provided its top executives with signing bonuses and lucrative contracts. The experience left a bitter taste in the mouths of even the most ardent Blizzard supporters, with only World of Warcraft Classic on the horizon to imbue the studio with positivity again. Things have been looking bleak at Blizzard. And that's fair to say. I mean, I think the Overwatch community is getting stale. It needs something new. So I guess if they're working on Overwatch 2, that makes sense. World of Warcraft, I mean, since I've just recently returned to the game, I don't have any problem with BFA, the new expansion. Everything's fun for me. But obviously Classic is really good. They just, ended Heroes of the Storm, and, Diablo 4 could still be years away. So there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to Blizzard. So employees clearly behind the scenes are also frustrated. And when you're having layoffs and, there's just a lot of negative energy going around Blizzard, which is not what I talk about on this channel. Of course, here on the Happy Jeremy channel, where we only talk about happy things because we're not mad about anything, and neither is anybody watching this video, as You can tell from all the likes on the video, because everyone who liked this video was a happy little boy, little girl, or little whatever they like, whatever makes them happy. It's interesting to see what's going on in Blizzard. I am pulling for them because they definitely have made some of the, some of the best games I've ever played in my life. But the developer does respond. The unannounced project will see the light of day. Will never see the light, it seems. As we said, it appears Blizzard Entertainment has canceled a project that was in development for over 2 years. Game developer David Gibson, who was a senior animator on Overwatch, started working on a mysterious unannounced Blizzard project back in 2017, according to his LinkedIn page. He worked on the game for about 2 years before announcing his departure from Blizzard this week. I can't imagine what it feels like to work on something for so many years and then just have it binned. You know, I totally understand. I totally understand why maybe you just need a change of scenery after that. Whatever this project was is no longer happening. Unfortunately, you'll never see what we made. Yeah, well, we know now it was a StarCraft FPS. It would have been interesting to see that, but, you know, I hope that that they can deliver on Diablo 4. I hope that WoW Classic is really well received. And I also hope the next WoW Retail expansion is really well received. And I hope it's well received because it's really good. Just a happy report from a happy man. I hope you're also happies. And hope you enjoyed this video, as I'm sure you did because you're happy. We'll talk to you again real soon.